Donald Trump was having a psychotic meltdown all last night. He kept on making post after post of photos of himself with the words Tariff King, Mr. Tariff. Then he went on the White House account and posted Mr. Tariff. He was posting photos of himself referring to himself as Tariff King all last night. Then he was posting this as well. Remember how he promised the people of Iran that if they went out and protest and fought back against the Ayatollah, that Donald Trump would have their back. Donald Trump said that if the Ayatollah killed a single protester, Donald Trump said the United States would go in guns a-blazing and the United States would attack the Ayatollah and protect the protesters. Well, now Donald Trump has a different message. He greatly respects the Ayatollah, he says. He goes, I greatly respect the fact that all scheduled hangings, which were to take place yesterday, over 800 of them, have been canceled by the leadership of Iran. Thank you. Thank you, Ayatollah. Signed, Donald J. Trump. So Donald Trump went from, we will kill the Ayatollah, we will attack this Iranian regime if they dare kill a single protester. Iran slaughtered thousands of protesters. We don't know if it's in the low thousands or tens of thousands because there's an internet blackout. But Trump said, I've got your back, protesters. If you go out there, we got you. And now Donald Trump saying, you know what I've done? I've been able to stop 800 hangings. Thank you, Ayatollah. We greatly respect you. The hell is going on? These are deeply serious times right now, and we have a deeply unserious human being, a dangerous human being, someone who's currently involved in invasions against American cities, specifically blue states and blue cities. And it is someone who's making a mess of America's standing in the world, destroying America's standing in the world. While all of that's taking place, the Trump regime is telling we, the people, what we deserve: one pencil, one doll. Why would we want more than that? And when it comes to food, the Trump regime's recent recommendation is we don't have to worry about inflation. If we just got one piece of chicken, one tortilla, one piece of broccoli, and one other thing. That's how it was referred to by Donald Trump's Agriculture Secretary, Brooke Rollins, or one other thing. Well, the Wall Street Journal did a report on this, and they said, it can cost around $3 in a meal. It's an inflation-busting plan. Get that piece of chicken, the piece of broccoli, a corn tortilla, and one other thing. And the Wall Street Journal hit the grocery stores to test the theory out. And you could, if you just get one piece of each, you may be able to get it for under $3. That's what the regime is trying to tell the people. That's their plan to stop inflation. Do we know how utterly offensive all of that is? It is so deeply offensive. And by the way, you want to talk about deeply offensive? You have Donald Trump's CIA director, John Ratcliffe, hanging out with Delcy Rodriguez, the authoritarian leader of Venezuela, who Donald Trump has as his puppet, setting up Qatari bank accounts. So while Donald Trump sells Venezuelan oil to Donald Trump's right-wing oligarch buddies, the proceeds from that sale doesn't go to the Treasury, doesn't go to the United States banks. It goes to bank accounts in Qatar with very little accountability. I wonder what those bank accounts in Qatar are going to be used for. So Donald Trump has pushed aside, as you know, Maria Corina Machado. He's taken her Nobel Peace Prize as the opposition leader who stood up for democracy before she had to kiss the gangster ring and I think embarrass herself. I guess I understand why she feels she needs to do it, but it's been grotesque to watch her give the Nobel Prize. I don't like it one bit. I'm not going to tell people, though, who feel a certain way how they should feel. I'll just share my opinion there briefly. But then Donald Trump is out there, CIA director, with Delcy, with Diosdado Cabello, the enforcer of Maduro. Even Rick Scott, MAGA Republican senator, is talking about how Diosdado Cabello, that was Maduro's enforcer, who's now still in charge, right? Him and Delcy are in charge. kidnapping all of these people. The pro-opposition daughters-in-law, sons-in-laws are still being tortured in Venezuelan prisons. And Rick Scott's like, let him go. Let him go. Rick, first off, you were involved in the largest Medicaid, Medicare fraud like in American history at the time, billions of dollars. You are fraud, waste, and abuse, but that's how you got your money in a golden parachute after invoking the Fifth Amendment many times and after your company was criminally convicted of the Medicare and Medicaid fraud. But look at what the gangster regime is doing right now. How do you expect to have any moral or formal authority when just this week, Ken Vogel from the New York Times reported this. He's a great reporter at the Times, that Donald Trump pardoned several people this week, including a banker implicated in a bribery scheme whose daughter donated $3.5 million to Donald Trump's PAC, a woman who was freed from prison by a Trump commutation in 2021 and was convicted in an unrelated case in 2024. I think she was selling counterfeit 5-hour energy drinks the first time she was convicted. Trump pardoned a porta potty magnate named Ari Eric D. Jung III, who was sentenced in federal prison to 5 months for illegally disposing of sludge in cities across Southern California. Wanda Vasquez, the ex-Puerto Rico governor, pled guilty in a bribery case. Mark Rossini, ex-FBI agent, pled guilty in Vasquez's case. Taryn Pizer, ex-CEO, convicted of insider trading and ordered to pay $18 million, which will likely be wiped away. And there are so many more people who were pardoned this week alone. I'll do a whole video on this with Harry Littman. But Trump is pardoning the people who are convicted of waste, fraud, and abuse. Folks, the American people hate this. A majority of the country say that Donald Trump's first year was an utter failure. And as CNN explained, they did a good job aggregating this. They're like, there's no positive data out there for Trump at all. Here, play this clip.
You really have to squint hard to find even a small piece of good news for the president in this poll. A majority of the country, 58%, say President Trump's first year has been a failure. That includes 2/3 of independent voters. Now, why is that? Across the board, Americans disapprove of how the president is handling every major issue. He's at 39% on the economy, 42% on immigration. Those are two of the biggest reasons that voters say they sent him back to the White House. The economy is far and away Americans' top concern and has been for years. Right now, 2/3 of voters say the president is focused on the wrong things. And maybe even more importantly, 2/3 say they don't think he cares about people like them.
And again, as I talk about these deeply serious times that we're in, I mean, Donald Trump was holding a press conference at one of his golf courses in Florida and Palm Beach, where he was like, all right, we have to go. There's a wedding coming in, because his home and where he holds the press conferences is a wedding venue. That's deeply weird. Here, play this clip right here.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. You know, we have a wedding here now. So they said, sir, is there any way you can move it quickly? I said, I'm not moving it quickly. We're not. And the people getting married were outside, and they said, take your time, sir. This is an honor. So it's sort of cute. Have a good time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And then Donald Trump had this cognitive glitch where he started calling the southern border the Southern Boulevard. I'll do a whole video on Donald Trump's deteriorating health. I mean, again, he posts Tariff King, Mr. Tariff. Mr. Tariff, Tariff King. Like, we realize. Anyway, just play the clip of him talking about Southern Boulevard. Here, play this clip.
Better than they've ever done before. They're up 78% in many cases. But starting on day one, we fully secured our Southern Boulevard and stopped and think of it, as we were securing Southern Boulevard, making Florida great, we're also securing a thing called the southern border and making that great, and we stopped the invasion of our country. So Florida's been ahead of our time. Florida was ahead, it led the way, but we stopped this was an invasion.
And then, of course, earlier in the day, he said that he was going to tariff any country that doesn't allow America to invade Greenland. Play this clip.
After another, I called Germany. No, we will not do that. I said, no, we're going to put a 25% tariff, which is, by the way, about 7 times more then they would have to pay by raising their drug, like 7 times. This wasn't like a little bit more, 7 times more. And I may do that for Greenland, too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little, I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen.
And then he finished it off by saying that he's the tariff king. He's like, me tariff king. I the tariff king. Here, play this clip.
Understood how to deal with him, and I'm the tariff king, and the tariff king has done a great job. And I hope we win the Supreme Court case, because if we don't, be a shame for our country. Be a shame. We have.
Folks, we'll keep you posted every step of the way here on the MeidasTouch Network, just keeping you apprised of these developments. We've got a lot of programming over the course of this weekend. Keep checking back every 90 minutes or so for a new video. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to add the MeidasTouch podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for new updates every single day.